Which steel frame is right for you? That's what we're gonna talk about today. You guys have seen content on both these pistols, the 5.1 inch PDP and the 4.5 inch PDP. But today, we're gonna talk about some specs, some features, and which one might be best for you. Let's go to range and shoot them. Before I get too far into talking with you guys about both these Walther PDP steel frame pistols, let me tell you a little bit about what I do here at RDR. We're a soft goods manufacturer, plate carriers, placards, chest rigs, EDC belts, battle belts, canine gear, and Safari and holster mods for both these pistols, steel frame 5-inch and the 4.5 inch gun, and all of our other Safari and holster mods and accessories, all which you can find on our website at rdrgear.com. So, PDP steel frame, in case you've been living under a rock or in a foreign country. These are all steel frame pistol and slide. And these guns come in 3 models. There's a 4-inch that I don't have, but the 4-inch, 4.5 inch, and the 5-inch. Not a lot of features and changes between these two guns, other than one obvious one in the triggers. So let's start there. So if you're going to purchase a steel frame pistol, these are more, I'm going to say both are duty guns. So if you're LE, contract security, whatever, maybe this is a gun for you. Both fit that role as far as a duty use pistol. They are 40 plus ounces on each pistol, unloaded, red dot compatible, etc. on that area, accessory rail for weapon lights. So we also have Safari duty holsters for both pistols. When you look at both these guns, your two distinct differences between the two guns is number one is the lightning cuts and slide, and then of course dynamic flat face trigger, and then the standard curve trigger. If you've watched I have another video coming out. By the time you see this one, you'll have probably watched the 4.5 inch PDP where we compare the 4.5 inch gun to the 4.5 inch professional polymer version with the acro. Both guns 4.5 inch, one steel, one polymer. The one difference is in the trigger, and I don't think that, rephrase that. I get why from the consumer side, you're gonna think it's different or it's less. Simply by aesthetics. It's not by any means. Both triggers, extremely fast, extremely easy to shoot. Take up, reset, all those things are there. The benefit of the flat face, the trigger breaks at a 90 degree. The curved trigger does break all the way to the rear of the trigger guard. But again, both pistols shoot phenomenally well. I have upgraded internals on both these pistols with the ZR tactical guide rod. If you are looking for a pistol that might be more towards the competition side, right? I'm gonna say lean towards the 5-inch PDP, simply because when you add that ZR tactical guide rod, this thing becomes a super soft shooting pistol. Christian shot it today as well, and he was very impressed because he doesn't get his hands on a lot of all steel guns. And for this being the weight that it was, the clean trigger, and that super soft recoil, it was a very easy gun to shoot. And once he got the trigger down, he was stacking rounds with the red dot, no problem. So for me, I really do like that setup because there's a lot of things you can do with this gun. And with the magwell, extended base pads, flat face trigger, lightning cuts and slide, internals, big window red dot, you're really off the races on a USPSA style pistol. The 4.5 inch gun could do all those things as well. You don't have the magwell, maybe the trigger aesthetically that you want, but I would say definitely if I was working the street today as a cop, I would definitely be leaning towards the steel frame as a duty gun. Simply aesthetics wise, fit wise for me personally, this gun fits me very well. The acro model with the 4.5 inch polymer frame, flat face trigger, magwell, acro direct milled is one of my favorite polymer guns that I shoot quite a bit. You know, now here's the other thing, price wise. These are about close to, from a standard PDP, you're about 2.5 in price point. These are around 1,800 bucks, depending on where you buy them and what model you get. And the polymer gun's gonna run you probably around $600, $650-ish. The professional is around 1,250 bucks, and that's a great deal because you get the acro included in that price point when you can find one. So there are some options out there. This is more, you're paying for that steel frame, you're paying for that machine work, all that kind of stuff, but these are specific task-driven pistols. Very much competition, can be competition, more duty, can be duty, and it can be competition. So again, I know that's redundant, but it really does come down to two things. One, what fits you better? Is one too heavy for you, one not heavy enough? You know, does one with the magwell? I know sometimes hands that are much larger and wider, when you have a magwell on a gun, you grip a pistol, it can feel like your fingers are kind of crunched in there, and to where a non-magwell gun gives you that kind of more freedom to kind of be closer to the bottom of the frame. Aesthetically, I prefer the non-magwell gun, but again, that's just preference on that aspect of it as well. When you look at both these pistols, you can upgrade the trigger. Now, don't quote me, but now here's what I'm gonna say. I personally think, because I've been in the business for a very long time. This will be coming up on 30 years in January that I've been working in the retail space between RDR and being a gun counter geek. I understand how the gun industry kind of takes the iPhone business template. You've got one model in the early fall, one model spring, summer, and then one model fall, winter, right? They kind of drop these products, and then usually at SHOT Show, we see some grand poobah Mac Daddy version of what they had released throughout the year. I would not be surprised to see, if we don't see that during the holiday season and or going into SHOT Show, do we see the 4.5 inch and the 4-inch gun getting all the same treatment that the 5-inch gun gets. Now, what that would mean is, in my opinion, you're gonna see a flat face trigger, you're gonna see a magwell on the 4.5 inch. On the 4-inch compact pistol, you're gonna see a magwell and you're gonna see a flat face trigger. That's my assumption. I don't have any data to say that's the case, but I just see that from a sales side, if all three of these guns are on the gun counter at a local gun shop, and this one has the magwell and the flat face, this one does not, and the small one and the 4-inch does not, consumer-wise, aesthetically, that's gonna be a detractor. So I would assume that by the end of this year at SHOT Show, we see all three pistols with the same treatment, exterior with trigger and magwell. So grip-wise, lock grips makes a ton of different stuff. Take your poison. They make a bunch of different colors, thicknesses, palm swells, etc. That's gonna be your preference on which one you wanna get. But man, the PDP, and full disclosure, Walther does support this channel above and beyond every time we ask, and they've been great to us. But you guys know me by now. I'd hope that people who know me personally, you know me through the channel, that I call balls and strikes. I call it how it is. I'm not here to stroke anybody or tell you, oh my God, it's so great and it sucks. It doesn't, because when I didn't believe in upgrading the ZR tactical guide rods, I didn't think it was needed. But when I got the polymer gun, it was snappy. It had some pretty rough recoil impulse. Upgrading the ZR tactical guide rod springs in all the PDPs now. ZR Tactical just sent out this 5-inch 5.1 spring for the 5-inch gun. It is a night and day difference in regards to recoil impulse, shootability, all of it. So I highly recommend, if you are interested in a PDP pistol, I don't think there's a lot of things you need to do to these guns other than upgrading that recoil spring, and it's gonna make that pistol shoot that much better. My good buddy Nick at Velox Training was talking to me about putting the 5.1 into the 4.5-inch gun, because that can be put into here by removing the guide rod spacer that's inside the frame here, so that, or inside the slide, so that's an option for me as well. So I'm going to tinker with that next time at the range and see if that helps me out. But if you are looking for an all steel gun that is more match driven, that does get closer to that $2,000 price point, the PDP steel frames are where it's at. If you guys have made it this far in the video, thank you very much, number one. Number two, like, share, subscribe, comment, interact with the channel, throw some comments below. I'll interact with you guys, but it'll also show YouTube you like this kind of content, you want to see more of it. If you have any questions on products, the website, rdrgear.com, email us at info@rdrholsters.com. Until next time, be well. Take care.